Hi everybody, it's Trish the Knitting Lady. How's everybody doing this Tuesday the 5th of January? It's kind of cold today, damp, it was raining before. So I'm wrapped up in one of my favorite blankets. I made this a couple years ago. It's just crocheted. I crocheted the width, kept double crocheting with a bigger hook. And as you can tell, I like bright colors. I don't always have bright colors on, but I always say about bright colors. I always like people to be able to see me across the street in the fog. I was looking through my different jokes. I couldn't just remember them. When you go up on stage, you're supposed to remember your jokes. So I'm going to show you a little thing that I found, though. This is my knitting. So we go in through the back door, run around the back, peeking through the window, and off jumps Jack. So you just remember that when you knit. I'm making a sweater. It's on a circular needle. See, better see with, woo. So what can I tell you for today's trivia? Whose birthday is it? It's Diane Keaton. Remember her? She's been in all kinds of movies. She was born in 1946. Robert Duvall was born in 1931. And Bradley Cooper, 1975. He went to the same school as my son. In fact, my son remembers him. Bradley Cooper got his master's from the Actors Studio, which is part of Pace University, and that's where my son went. My son went to Pace University. Except my son went for business, but a lot of people he did go to school with wound up in plays on Broadway. None of them became really famous. One of his friends wound up teaching at the school. He was a Shakespearean actor, and you really don't make a lot of money doing that. So he wound up becoming a professor, English professor. Did you know, or maybe you did, Apollo astronauts train in Iceland, or the ones that went to the moon, trained in Iceland because the terrain there mostly resembled the surface of the moon. I always want to go to Iceland. I'll get there eventually. If they ever let us out of this country. And on this day in 1920, over 100 years ago, the New York Yankees announced the purchase of the outfielder George Herman Ruth, otherwise known as Babe Ruth, from the Boston Red Sox for $125,000. That was a lot of money in those days. I still wouldn't mind somebody gave me $125,000. I think it would pay off my debts. I don't have that many debts, but it would help. So back in 1914, when he started playing for the Baltimore Orioles, that's good old George there, it was a minor league team at the time. The owner and the manager, Jack Dunn, had to take the Babe under his wing because the age of majority back there was 25 and Babe Ruth was only 19. So he was referred to as Jack's newest babe, shortened to just Babe. So that's how he got the nickname Babe Ruth. His teammates found it weird to call him Babe. So they used another nickname. They used to call him the Big Fellow because he was a big fellow. So, certainly wasn't Skinny Man. Bam and Fidge. And he started out as a left-handed pitcher. Remember the movie The Natural with, what was his name in it? Now I'm drawing a blank. Robert Redford. I know I think of his name eventually. That was partly the book used Babe Ruth as an example of a character. The character in The Natural started out as a pitcher. And so did Babe Ruth. But when he was transferred to the Yankees, he became an outfielder. And he helped the New York Yankees win 4 World Series and 7 American League pennants. Now, this is all baseball, which I happen to like baseball. He was the highest paid man in baseball. He was paid $80,000 a year and made more than the president, who was paid $75,000 a year. The president at the time was President Hoover. And the Yankees dropped him after a 22-year career. In 1935, he went to play for the Boston Braves. So Babe wound up with the Boston Braves, thinking somehow he might be able to manage the team after a while, but it didn't work out, so he retired. He only played 28 games for the Boston Braves. And which musician sold his entire songwriting catalog last month for over $300 million? And that would be Bob Dylan. After 6 years of writing songs, he sold his songwriting catalog. I don't know why he did that, but I would have thought his songs were worth more than that. He won the Nobel Prize a couple of years ago. I always liked his music, though. He can't sing for anything, though, but I like his songs. So, I was going through some of my jokes, and I'm going to read them off to you. The actress, the waitress. This is what I got to practice. Get on stage and be able to talk. The waitress asked me if I wanted my coffee black, and I asked her what other color does she have. I know, stupid joke. How do you make a bandstand? You hide all their chairs. How do you save a drowning lawyer? You take your foot off his head. I was a teacher's pet 1 year in school. She couldn't afford a dog. You know, it's time to clean your bedroom when you need a compass to find your bed. I've never had that problem, to be honest with you. I'm pretty tidy. But I had a friend whose house was like that. There was a path to get through his house. Really, seriously. Oh, well. Did you hear about the man who went on a diet eating on dehydrated foods? One day he got caught in the rain and gained 50 pounds. My mother assigned me to clean the living room. She came home and found me crying. I cleaned the bird cage and the parakeet disappeared. She asked me, how did I clean the cage? And I said, with a vacuum cleaner. Did you hear about the man who had a helicopter crash? Seems he got cold and turned off the fan. Did you hear about the cannibal who loved fast food? He'd ordered a pizza with everyone on it. On job applications, they asked me if I'm fluent in any other languages, and I always tell them English, knitting, and crocheting. And it doesn't go over very well. I just don't know why. I always buy natural yarn, organic food, etc. I think animal testing is a terrible idea. Poor animals get all nervous and give the wrong answers. I've tried all kinds of sports. I've even tried baseball. I wonder why the baseball was getting bigger than it hit me. My doctor did tell me I have OKD, obsessive knitting disorder. And I know I'm dangerous because I run with needles. The other day I walked into a bar Ouch, that hurt. I put an ad on the internet looking for a husband, and I got responses from 200 women who said, you can have mine. Okay, that's about it. See, I have to get better at this. See, give me a stage. Maybe I'll be better. And I always got up on stage and knitted while I was on stage. Plus, I do better playing off the audience. But, so that's about it. Nothing else is going on except work, which is boring. I don't talk about my work. It's boring. So I hope everybody's doing well. And I shall see you tomorrow. Bye now.